Da, 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 da.
Oh my god. And we are
Live.
officially live for another episode of Sports Vibe, number 122 in the main series. We are officially also entering Memorial Day weekend, which means a lot of different things, obviously. But in the sports world, it means that we are very much heating up in the NBA and the Stanley Cup playoffs. Conference finals are well underway at this point. It's been a fun week of basketball and of hockey, and yeah, I mean, we're of course here to talk about all of it. All the series that are going on, which we're down to four right now. But I guess yeah. Well, as usual, we could start with the NBA. Yeah, we'll start with the NBA. But I mean, first of all, we should definitely talk about the Knicks versus Cavs series because I mean, Game One was just like the most improbable game that I've seen. Come back, and the Knicks kind of put their comeback capes on from last playoffs, and they did it again. And the Cavs came out roaring, hitting threes, and the Knicks really looked like kind of dead in the water. Maybe it was a long layoff between games after the Philly sweep versus the Cavs game 7, but it just so something just didn't look right. Like the way things were going on, and I mean Donovan Mitchell played pretty well. He had 29 points. I mean they were up by 22 in like the fourth quarter with I think about 7 minutes left, and just like last year, the Knicks do it again. Like I don't know how that was even possible. Jalen Brunson like put them on his back basically. He had 38 points. I mean, 15 of 29 shooting. I mean, he was the one who really was like the game's not over, and they missed a lot of shots with Cleveland. The Knicks came all the way back. They forced overtime with a strong fourth quarter where they had 32 points, and then Towns, Anunoby, and Hart had 13. Mikal Bridges, who had a rough series a couple of series ago, and that's all forgotten now. He had 18. I mean, Shaman had a big three. I remember that had 9 points. But I mean, the comeback was just like sensational. I mean, from where they were to where they ended up was just unbelievable. And then in overtime, they took over, and yeah, I mean, it was just it was something else, honestly. Like, I mean, it was really something else. Like, this was even more improbable than the Boston one. I feel like the Boston ones from last year because they were down even more in terms of points, and I mean, yeah, like it didn't look good. Like, I mean, they were down by like 21 with like 8 minutes left, and somehow they've come all the way back, and it's just like it's just mania in New York City. And like I saw tweets that basically said this is why the tickets are so expensive because you're paying for like the experience, the Broadway show, the basketball game, the cinema, like all at once. And like
Whoa, 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 whoa!
I,
I don't.
I
I that
disagree with the
I
take.
did see that. I did see that, but I
I
don't
disagree with the
understand that.
take, but like I think it is coming from kind of like a good place, and
But
in a sense.
I don't understand that because they said like, oh, you're getting this, this, and this. What Broadway show are you seeing with that ticket? You take that ticket up to a theater, they're gonna say, "What are you doing here?" You
Not like
know?
the literal Broadway show. Like they mean like the experience of like being at the garden, and like
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't justify the ticket prices for me. The ticket prices are
yeah,
still
they're
way too
still way
much.
too expensive. It's like not even funny. But I mean like I don't yeah. I mean also like there's no way they would know that this would happen. Like imagine the Cavs win by 20 points and it's still a $500 ticket.
Okay, well, I think we all knew that the Cavs were not going to win this series.
Fair, but no,
But
but in game one, like, what if it went like that badly? For the Knicks, I mean, the ticket prices don't drop because of, you know what I mean? It's just the anticipation, the moment, the garden tax, and I mean, I guess in New York, like everybody has, like, like in the city,
everything's more
especially,
expensive in New York
yeah,
too.
because people have money, so you know what I mean. Like, so I mean, yeah, I guess that's the thing, but it prices out like a lot of like the common fans, and you know what I mean. Even like fans who might want to go if the tickets are $100, $200 even. And but that's why they also have like the $10 road watch parties that I'm like a big fan of. The outdoor ones that are
Did you hear
crazy.
that
They
they were
they did
thinking
shut
about
them
getting rid of
down.
those?
Yeah, because it's I don't know. Apparently, those have gotten like a little too crazy. So like yeah, I heard they're putting the kibosh on the official outdoor ones like in the plaza. But I mean like yeah, I mean that kind of sucks. But they have been getting pretty crazy and rowdy out there. Like it's
Well,
not
that's
just
what
the
you
little
want,
block.
though. Like,
Huh?
as long as you can keep people in like barricades, then
Yeah, like that's
you
yeah,
should be
like
able to have it. Like, come on.
right, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I thought too, but I think like they've been taking like the streets and it's like, you know what I mean? They've been going outside the little area and
Well,
stuff like
that's
that.
not
And
right.
there's yeah, you know what I mean? So like yeah,
Well, that's
that's
more on enforcement, and they need to find a better way to enforce it.
yeah, I don't know. Apparently like yeah, so the watch party permits were denied after the police like complained of drunken rowdy crowds like and yeah, it's like I don't
Heaven
know.
forbid somebody have fun.
Exactly, right? Like I don't know. I guess the fans have just gotten a little too crazy, but yeah, the chaos is just like yeah, I mean that sucks. I'm pretty sure they're still having the indoor ones. I unfortunately couldn't grab the tickets in time for
Well, those
tonight.
are expensive, aren't they?
No, those are like $10, like but for the road games,
Oh,
usually.
still?
So I think so, yeah. Because they raise all the money for charity and like stuff like that. But you know what's crazy though? Like I mean, like even the $10 tickets, that's a lot of money. Like I mean that like they're making, you know what I mean? Like by having these. But yeah, those go to charity. Like now the actual games, I mean they're raking in like tons and tons of money. Like for you know what I mean? If every ticket is like $500 or more, and like I mean, oh my god, like you know what I mean? Like yeah, that's a lot of money. But it's just like comical when you see the
Now,
Knicks
if only
tickets
that went to
versus like
charity.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean
If
like
only that went to charity
yeah, I mean
instead of
charities are
lining
just
James
yeah.
Dolan's pockets.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But it's just comical when you see like the how expensive the Knicks tickets are versus like the Cavs tickets. It's like, oh, I could get a flight to Cleveland, a hotel, and a ticket for the game, and it still wouldn't be enough as much in New York. And like sometimes that's actually true, which is like or Atlanta, or I mean, it's crazy. And like then the Sixers tried to like up the prices, and they basically ended up pricing out their own fans because it was still cheaper than the ones in New York. So I was just like, that's a horrible strategy. It was just like yeah, you know what I mean? I was just like, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I mean, yeah, the garden tax, it is really just like idiotically almost like too much. But again, you're paying for more than just the game. You're paying for the experience or the moment. Like, I guess those are things that people take into consideration, like too, when, you go to a next game, especially
I
a
wonder if
deep
there's
in
a
the
Barclays
playoffs.
Center tax.
Yeah. Um, Tickets aren't like that. I mean, I feel like there's like a little bit of it. Like it's not cheap, but now when the Nets started playing like so badly, it became very cheap to like go to a Nets game. Like
Yeah,
obviously, like
yeah.
oh
I
yeah,
do know.
did you see the clip on Instagram where like like someone's like girlfriend like surprises them to take them my bad, I'm
All
just
right.
grabbing my charger, but like I'm going to like a from a what am I saying? Like she takes him to like a basketball game, but instead of it being like a Knicks game, it's a Nets game, and then like he's like blindfolded or something, so he doesn't notice, and then so then she takes off the blindfold, and then he's like, this is the Nets game, like it's like, and then she's like, I thought you like basketball, and then he's just like not even watching the game. He's like on his phone. It's like this is trash because he's like in a Knicks jersey, and he's like they're so bad. Like, they're like, I think they're already like down by like 20 or 30. I don't know.
Oh my God!
It
Wait,
was
no,
so
I didn't
funny.
see that.
Yeah, and then another one was like, it's like I think some sports reporters or someone like takes her son who's like 6 years old to his first basketball game, and it's the Nets versus the Wizards, and he's like, "Is this the championship?" And I was like, "Oh no, like that's so sad." Like, I was like, "Is this the championship?" It's like the winner is the team that actually loses because of the draft lottery, but like
Yeah,
actually, I'm a little upset that the Nets, like after all of that, like they got the sixth pick. I mean, like you know what I mean? Like really? Like
whatever. So let's just
whatever.
keep on track here.
Washington got the first pick, so it's fine. I mean, like I don't even know who the prospects are. Like, I mean, there's a lot of good ones, like the Bonsa and like college this year. Like, but anyway, yeah. In terms of the Knicks, we went like way off topic in terms of the watch parties. But honestly, I don't know. Sometimes sports is like more than just the analysis. It's also how it feels, the crowd, the chaos.
Oh, wait, that's mostly sports. Screw
That's
the
mostly
analysis
sport,
sometimes.
exactly.
What
But
gets you into
sometimes, yeah.
sports? Analysis does not get you into sports. It's passion that
No,
gets you into
it's
sports.
passion, and then like the for us, like the analysis comes from how much we love sports, like how much we love the game, how much we love like all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, in terms of the I mean, in terms of this the Knicks, I guess at some point we do kind of have to go back to some analysis. But game one was crazy though. Like I mean, the hype, I mean, and the comeback. We talked about how far they fell behind, but when they roared back in it, like that was over. Overtime was 14-3. I mean, like the Knicks just like absolutely dominated them. Also like James Harden, like I mean, I don't know what he's doing. Like he
What
is
a
playing
scrub.
so bad in the playoffs. Like I mean, it's absolutely insane. I mean, this guy has 15 points in game one, 1 for 8 from three, 5 for 16 from the field. I mean, it's like this is why like everybody jokes that he like posts like tornado numbers because like 5-16 and like 1-8. Like I mean, like our like this guy like, and then the second game comes around and he's like, I mean, it's just so like, yeah, okay, sure, he has like 18 points, but again, 6 of 15, 3 of 7. He did a little bit better. He has a plus minus of minus 22 like when he was on the floor, which is like the team worst. But he literally was missing layups, missing threes, like bricking things, like he's lost a step. I mean, he cannot, you know what I mean? His quickness is gone. Like I was just like roasting him so hard. Like I was at Olive Branch for the game on Thursday, and which is nice because like it's kind of like a Knicks-ish bar in a way. Like people were, after the game they played at the Empire State song and stuff like that. It was a good time. Like we had a good time.
New
So, yeah, I love that
York.
song. And I'm like in the city
Coming.
like literally every day for work too. So it's just like, I mean, like the vibes are there, I guess. Like with people at the office too. And but yeah, no, it's great. And then here like at Rutgers, like, like a lot of people are still like Knicks fans or whatever too. So it's a fun vibe, I guess, over there. But yeah, in terms of the game itself, I mean, this one was not nearly as dramatic as game one. But the Knicks kind of had the advantage for most of it. I mean, the Cavs got off to early lead, then the Knicks, basically won the last in the middle two quarters, and I mean this one, yeah. I mean the Cavs kind of struggled outside of like Donovan Mitchell again after their hot shooting start in game one. A lot of them kind of cooled off. Sam Merrill, who's a very very good 3-point shooter, he only had 4 points. He missed all seven. Dean Wade, because in game one, like Sam Merrill was absolutely like cooking, like he had like multiple threes and stuff like that. But game two, very quiet. The most of the team was quiet. Mobley had 14, Jared Allen had 13. I mean, it just wasn't the same thing. And then for the Knicks too, like Jalen Brunson had a bit of an off night. He had 19 points. He barely even got there by the end of it. But after his heroic game one, he I think he had like 5 points in the third quarter or something. Like he was like really like having an off night. Really making anything, but the rest of the team really stepped up. I mean, like he's OG Anunoby coming back from injury. He had 14. Josh Hart, this was like the Josh Hart game. I mean, he had 26 points, which I think was his playoff career high. 10 for 21, 5 for 11. He's not really like a 3-point shooter like at all, but I mean, like he can make them, and he was just absolutely like splashing. And then Mikal Bridges had 19 points. Carl Towns had 18. Like I don't know, the starting five for the Knicks. I mean, like just Anunoby, Hart, Towns, Bridges, Brunson. I mean, they all really like work really well together. Like you have the Nova trio, Bridges, Brunson, and Hart. You have Brunson being like the lead guard, Bridges, quality minutes. Anunoby's been like sensational these playoffs at the forward spot. And then Josh Hart, I mean, he's like the glue of the team. But I mean, he also had his moments, and clearly he delivered in a big way. And then at center, you have Carl Towns, who, I mean, is aggressive. Can get boards. I mean, he's one of the best 3-point shooting centers in the league. I mean, he 3 for 5 from downtown. But I don't know, like with him, it's just interesting because he has such a gravity around him. He could like pull up from three, but oftentimes because of that, he'll choose not to. and like he'll either kick it out or he'll fake, you know what I mean? He can shoot the threes, and then or he'll just fake the three and roll to the rim. And when he does it, it's like the most aggressive like drive to the rim. Like I don't know if you noticed this, but you know what I mean? Like the way he goes to the rim off a fake three, he's like gonna like attack. He wants to like put somebody on a poster slam, but for some reason it's so uncoordinated. He ends up just like drawing a foul going to the free throw line, and then yeah, you know, he's also a good shooter, so he makes those too. So it's just like I don't know, something about like Carl Towns. Like I mean, it's funny. You know what I mean? Like it's like you don't think like his strategy is gonna work when he does that, but somehow it does anyway, and it's like okay. And then of
Failing
course, yeah,
upward, right? It's failing upward.
yeah, failing like literally, he'll just like drive to the rim, get fouled in the most ridiculous, like try to put somebody in a poster unexpectedly. I'm like, dude, like he's like such a good shooter, but then he uses that to his advantage to attack the rim, and then he also like uses it to his advantage to stretch the floor basically. And yeah, I mean, you know, with him at center, you know, Ananobi and Hart, and then Bridges and Brunson. I mean, you got a really good starting five, and then behind them you have Mitchell Robinson, you have you know, guys like Shaman, Deuce McBride, who's a fan favorite with the Knicks, because you know he can like hit some shots too. Like he's, you know what I mean. The whole team is yeah, it's a fun team. But I mean like, you know, the starting five is like you know, they basically controlled and like you carry the entire game. But they work really well together. I would say, and in a night where Brunson was kind of off for a lot of it, you know, the rest of the team really kind of picked him up. I mean, you know, and
And
yeah,
as they should too, because he can't do everything.
yeah, not every night. Like, you know, it's a team.
Sometimes it feels
It's
like
a,
he has to do everything, but
it does. Like in game one, like it kind of felt like he had to kind of, you know, like without him, like you know, they would have been dead in the water. But game two, like the squad, you know, the whole unit, like really pitched in. I mean, like you know, like Bridges, Brunson, Towns, they all kind of, you know what I mean. They all picked up. Josh Hart, you know, led the way with the 26. But I mean, yeah, they all worked together very, very well. Yeah, I mean that's what makes them really good, I guess. You know, that you have a very cohesive, um, you know, fun like starting five, that plays well. So anyway, I mean, I don't know. In terms of the series, though, like we're sitting at 2-0 New York going into Cleveland. I feel like the game that the Cavs could have very easily won, they lost. But it's not over yet. I mean, the Knicks now going to Cleveland. They have not lost a playoff game since the Atlanta series. And it's so funny when now
it's hard
people.
to. I don't think they will.
I don't think
Maybe
they
they'll
will
lose.
until
Maybe
the yeah.
Cleveland will still won at most, but they're gonna roll. They're gonna roll into Cleveland, and they're gonna, you know,
Yeah, I
kick
mean
ass,
it's
take
a
names,
difference
whatever
in
have you.
it's a, yeah, I mean it's a difference in location, and honestly, with the way the Knicks fans travel, like I don't know, like you know what I mean, how that's gonna work over there too,
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. I wouldn't be fully surprised if we see some version of like you know me. I don't think it's gonna be a takeover because Cleveland fans are also loyal, but I think we will see like a decent amount of blue and orange in the stands over there as
you're
well.
gonna see a decent
Um,
amount of blue and orange no matter where you go, and it's not even just
yeah,
because Knicks fans travel well. Knicks fans are
they also live
literally
everywhere
everywhere.
too.
You know.
Yeah, and they travel well too. The ones from New York also travel well on top of that. So like
Yeah.
or they can at least at times. But like yeah, I don't think it's gonna be as bad as Philly or like Atlanta, but like yeah, I mean I'm sure they'll still be there. But you know, yeah, anyway, I mean in terms of the Cavs, like game one they really had a chance to win. I think they will get like at least a game in the series, you know. I don't really see I don't know about two. Like I don't know. I feel like
No, not two.
they'll get one
They
in the homestand, and then we'll bring it back to New York. The Knicks will win the other one. It'll probably be the Cavs if anything win tonight. The Knicks win 4 and 5 is my guess, or maybe the Knicks win today. Cavs win four, but I don't know. I mean, the Cavs
I'll
like
go. I'll go. Maybe they take one. I won't even be fully convinced that they
I'm
even
not
take
even
one
very
game.
certain. Honestly, I feel that the Knicks might just sweep them like the way they're playing, like so dominant. And you know, the Cavs probably had their best shot in game one. They're kind of you know, and you know, punch them in the mouth. They didn't, and now it's kind of like I mean, the Knicks are like the Cavs are playing better than the other teams have played against them, but like it doesn't seem like enough to turn the tide in this series, unless you know what I mean. The way the Knicks are playing, and especially with James Harden playing this badly, like you know, I mean, like you really need like Harden to be Mitchell's sidekick here, you know, like really deliver. Like if that happens, then yeah, this could absolutely be a series, you know what I mean? But like without that, like I mean, like it's just very hard, like you know, because the Knicks, I mean, you know, like I said, like if Brunson has a bad night, Josh Hart's picking up. You know, if he has a bad night, Bridges is picking up. You know what I mean? Like you have like multiple guys who can like get you buckets, and they all do at the same time on top of that. So it's just like yeah, I mean, like I don't know. This might kind of just be over. Like the Knicks are just like very dominant, and the Cavs have they've kind of struggled through 2 rounds, like you know what I mean, in seven, and
Hey, but
um
they made it here, you
they
know.
did make it here. Yeah, they overcame the number one seed, which I don't think people really thought that was going to happen, especially after they fell behind 2-0. So this isn't the first time that the Cavs have been down 2-0. They overcame that deficit, but they're going to really have to like turn it on in a different way, to be able to pull that one out over the Knicks, basically. So yeah, you know what I mean. Like they're gonna have to really be able to turn on this on
It's
the
hard to do once. It's going to be even harder to do
to do
twice.
twice against this Knicks team. If they can tie the series up, goes back to New York, then yeah, I mean, I think with momentum, like I think they could, make a bid for winning it. Even then, it'll probably still be hard. But I mean, I don't think the Knicks are gonna just lose. Like they don't lose on the road. They don't lose at home. Like you know what I mean. They definitely don't lose on the road. Actually, it's you know what I mean. Like well, they did like earlier in the playoffs, but they've been very very good outside of the Garden as well as inside. So yeah, I think maybe the Cavs could find a way to win one of the games, but both I'm having a hard time seeing it. So yeah, then the Knicks will probably take a 3-1
I don't
lead.
see it at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean if the
They're
Knicks
not
are probably
losing.
gonna either sweep the series or they're gonna go to the Garden up 3-1, and
Or
despite
they're going
the
to win in five. Like they're either going to sweep the series or win in five. There's
yeah.
no,
Yeah, you're right. I don't even
you know,
see a game six, honestly. Like not the way they're playing. Like the Knicks are just like multiple times like better than them, I guess. So
yeah. There's just no way.
right,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. I don't see it, and yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't really see it. Like it's as good as the Cavs have kind of been. Like it's just like it's a different beast. So we'll see how tonight goes. It should be a fun evening, I guess, of Knicks basketball as always. But like but yeah, in terms of the Western series now, like this one like started off like even more cinematic too. Like also went to double overtime. The game one of this party was very very this party this I'm thinking of like a watch party or something, but like of this series,
This series.
this series, yeah, was very very good. I mean, yeah, I mean, like it was something else. Like both of those teams going back and forth. Victor Wembanyama, getting the poster over Holmgren and Shea, and then also hitting the long distance three from like 30 feet out. Like he hit a three from like Curry range to basically force overtime. Like it was. I meant like thinking about like a 7'5" guy like hitting a three like that in a big moments. Like you think like what is the NBA? Like I mean, Wembanyama's like. I mean, he's so unstoppable. I mean, he's like like defensive player of the year caliber on defense, can block any shot, rebounding and it's effortless. I mean, he could just score, get his own miss and put it back in because he's so tall, just a lob threat. He has handles. I mean, his passing is great. He could shoot. So it's not even like you have Giannis. You have like what I mean? You have like Giannis with shooting, with taller, better defense, more rebound. It's like it's an insane build is what it is. And like the one thing is like he's a little bit weaker, I guess, which which is but I mean that game one was just an incredible game that the Spurs took to overtime, that they won it, and I was just like, okay, like they still won in Oklahoma City, they got one. They're gonna be in the series, or they with a chance to win it. So like yeah, I mean that was game one. Wembanyama had 41 points, 24 rebounds. I mean like it's the most ridiculous stats like of all time. And Dylan Harper also had a pretty good game. He had 24. Stephon Castle had 17. The Spurs without De'Aaron Fox, Harper was right in the lineup alongside Castle. And then we go on to game two where the Thunder tied the series up. And then yeah, you know what I mean. This one, Wembanyama a bit quieter, but still at 21, and then Devin Vassell at 22, Castle 25. But this was the Thunder's game where they evened it out at home in front of the fans. SGA had 30 points and only 6 at the free throw line, which is got to be like a record or something for him. But like, I don't know, yeah, like only 6. So it's like that's just like not a lot of free throws for him for some reason. But Yeah. Anyway, no, it's just like I don't know, the Thunder are just like the Thunder. Like, I mean, they're just very good, very
It's
ferocious.
so annoying though. I really want the
Yeah,
Spurs to pull this one
me
out
too.
because
But
I am
I think
so sick of the Thunder.
one thing I
I'm
do
still
yeah,
I'm not even really sick of the Thunder. I'm just sick of SGA. Like I'm
me
sick.
too, of the flopping
And
and
I thought that when San Antonio won game 1, went into Oklahoma and punched them in the mouth, I thought, "Okay,
Town Center.
now the scale has tipped in their favor because now all they have to do is win their home games, and then they're fine." And then they
Yeah,
lose game 3, and now I'm like
yeah.
in
Damn
pretty
it.
convincing fashion too.
I
They lose
know. I was like so sad. Like, and so now SGA has 26, but he has 12 at the line, and I'm just like, there it is. Like, but like, yeah, no. But I think the thing about this Thunder team, though, it's not just the starters or SGA that's very good. Obviously, he is like, like let's say what you want about him, but their bench, like, I mean, like, is very deep
my
too.
god, they're loaded.
They are loaded, and like it starts with, I mean, Alex Caruso, the way he's played this postseason. I mean, he stepped up in big moments for this Oklahoma City team. I mean, in game one in the loss, I mean, he had like a crazy amount of points off the bench. Like, yeah, he had 31 off the bench, 8 for 14 from three. And again, he's also not like he's like a Josh Hart type player, not really, more like a glue guy defensive, but he has range. I mean, he's you know what I mean, shorter but also aggressive. Like, I mean, yeah. So he was like kind of like in a game where Shea Gilgeous was a little bit quieter, and still like he was, you know what I mean. He led the team in points, pushed them into overtime. Obviously Spurs take one, and then game two the Thunder answer right back. And this you know what I mean. This time I mean Caruso has 17. Jared McCain, like I mean I cannot believe that
Yeah,
Sixers traded him
24.
away because yeah I mean. You know what I
Caruso
mean?
with 15 again. I don't think
Exactly.
we're talking about Williams enough.
Jalen Williams, yeah.
Jalen
The other
Williams, yeah,
Jalen Williams, like I mean, like
with 18.
not the one who starts, you know what I mean, but the
Yeah.
the second one,
Well,
like
the 2 of them
well, both of
still.
well, yeah, I mean, well, Jalen, the other Jalen Williams is in the starting line. He's like basically their second best player. Like I really like Jalen Williams. Like they've and then the other Jalen Williams too. Like there's the one that they called J Dub. Like he had 18 off the bench. Caruso had 15, like you mentioned. Hartenstein had 5. He had a quieter game, but all these guys off the bench, like Williams, the other Jalen Williams. Caruso, AJ Mitchell, he has his moments sometimes as well. Like he's you know what I mean? All these guys like they play like really well. I mean, off the bench and stuff like that. Like most people probably don't even know like who they are and stuff like that, but they can absolutely ball. And then this was the Jared McCain game though. He had 24 points. He struggled from distance, but he overall had a very good night. I mean, like plus 28. I mean, he was right behind Shea in scoring, and he did it with like a lot less free throws. But like, no, that guy, like, I mean, he's a baller. Like, I cannot believe Philadelphia traded him away for like basically nothing. I mean, like, like, hey, look at him now. Like, I mean, like, that's
Yeah, really. Well,
yeah,
Philadelphia, whatever happened to the master plan Philadelphia, whatever
the
whatever it was called,
process,
the process.
the
Whatever
process.
happened to that? How's that working out for you?
I don't know. They're stuck in like the second round, basically. Like, it's the problem with that. But
Yeah, because
yeah,
Embiid will never be what you need him to be.
exactly.
Never.
He's inconsistent.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, I mean, it was nice to see them to beat Boston and stuff like that. He had like a really good series, and then like yeah, against the Knicks, he was just like not the same. But anyway, I mean, I guess yeah, the point is like this Thunder team is incredibly deep. I mean, you know what I mean? Like all these guys like Jalen Williams, Caruso, McCain, AJ Mitchell, like they could all give you minutes, like quality minutes. They could all, you know what I mean? Like so, it's a very tough team to beat. Now the Spurs on the flip side. I mean, obviously you have Wembanyama, you have, De'Aaron Fox and Castle and Harper, and a very good starting lineup. Then you have guys like Devin Vassell and Champagny, Keldon Johnson, but they're not quite like as deep when you get out of the starting five, I guess, you know what I mean? Like, which is, I guess, kind of like a little bit of an issue. You have a couple scorers, on the bench, but nothing like the same way. Like, you don't really have like that many, you know what I mean? The Spurs don't really have like that many bench scorers who can come in and give you 20. You know what I mean? The Thunder have like multiple of them. The Spurs, like I guess if you want to include like Dylan Harper in that category, because he's still not really a starter. I guess when Fox and Castle are healthy, then
Well,
you have a
Dylan Harper
dangerous.
is one. Dylan Harper is the one that they have of somebody
That
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 can
is
come off the
yeah,
bench
right.
and
Because
provide
like
some
Fox and
juice.
Castle are still the starting couple of guards when they're both healthy, and rightfully so. But Harper can absolutely step in there, give you quality bench minutes, can hold his own. Not even hold his own. He's like he can himself like be like a starter or a bench player who gives you the same amount of points on any given night. So I mean he's like the one that they do have that can be that guy, I guess, you know what I mean? Like whether it's off the bench or even as a starter sometimes. But outside of him, like they don't really like Carter Bryant like hasn't really, like the other guys haven't really been able to like prove that they can also do it. I mean Harper, pretty much has. So like he's, very much in that rotation. But yeah, I mean like I don't know. I'm a little disappointed, like you said about the series because like I mean, seeing the Spurs like go up 1-0 is very promising and rewarding, and I think
Yeah.
everyone was very, very, very happy about that game, and you know what I mean, because everybody knew like the only team that could beat the Thunder is like the Spurs, you know what I mean, probably.
Oh
So
yeah.
everybody's kind of pinning like their hopes and dreams on them, and then they deliver like a masterpiece in game one, and on top of that, the game is really good. So from an
Well, they
entertainment.
still can't turn it around. They're only down
Yeah,
one
they're only
game, but
down one.
man,
Like,
like,
they go back, they
come
tied it
on.
up tonight, like or tomorrow. They're tied. So yeah, I mean, and game one was such a memorable first game, and obviously, yeah, Spurs weren't gonna like sweep the Thunder. Thunder, it's like a very strong team. Maybe like these are like the only two teams that could probably beat each other in like a 7 game series, like potentially. So
As we've said
yeah,
100 times, this is
yeah,
the
we
finals right here.
exactly. We've said it like since like March, like I mean, so like
Yeah, and we're gonna say it until the finals actually start. That this is the finals right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, exactly, and it's such good basketball, and I think the
It's
Thunder
like
though,
you want to talk about like the Thunder's bench contributions and how the Spurs don't necessarily match up with their bench contributions.
right?
Who they're gonna play in the finals, the Knicks, don't even come close.
Oh no, yeah,
You
they're not
know?
even like where the Spurs are with that, like in terms of the
No.
bench, like yeah, they're basically
This
running fully on their starting five, like you know what I mean? If you
Yeah, the Knicks might God, if they end up against the Thunder in the finals, they might lose
oh,
in 5,
yeah, which is
you
weird
know?
considering like that they're running through the East, but the East
Because
is also
the
like
East
significantly
sucks.
weaker. Yeah,
The
that is
East
true. They really
sucks.
are not that good. Like, I mean, yeah, like I mean, Atlanta, Philly, Cavs are like been the closest to competitive, and like you know what I mean. But
Well, the Celtics were probably the best team in the East for the longest time, and then they just
yeah,
died in the playoffs.
they absolutely just died in the playoffs.
With Tatum coming back, you would expect them to be the best in the East, and I thought they
Right.
were going to be. I thought Detroit's days were numbered if the season went a little bit longer, but and then they just completely crap themselves
Yeah,
against Philly.
they
You
died
know,
in Embiid's arms. I guess he used the dying time. Like,
I
oh
just
no,
died in your arms tonight.
literally, yeah.
Well, nobody comes here for our singing, so let's keep it with the
Yeah,
sports
let's not focus
analogy.
on the I don't know. Yeah, between that
Um,
and there's the divorce a little bit from a few weeks ago, like if you remember that one. But like
oh yeah,
yeah, that was actually really funny too. But like no, but anyway, the Celtics like whatever die in Philly's hands or whatever you want to say. But like I mean literally like they could not like Embiid comes back and like it's like over for them like somehow and like I was so shocked but like I was just like I was laughing that one off but then and I was a little worried about the Sixers too. I was like if they play like this like they could absolutely be a problem for the Knicks like
nope.
if, but obviously not so like yeah obviously not they didn't play nearly the same way like Maxi and Edgecombe and Embiid was just like a shell of himself in that series that was like the thing but yeah anyway
Yeah,
I
it's the
mean
second round. Everybody knows him. That's when Embiid checks out.
yeah. And like yeah, same thing with like James Harden too. I feel like I mean I don't
Yeah,
even know if he even checks into the first round like half the time anymore. Like I mean like
he checks in for like
anyway,
2 games every playoffs, and then
yeah.
that's it.
The funniest thing was like when he had a good game and everybody's and then he's like we're he's talking to the reporter and then and she's like what'd she say like 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 there's been a lot of like chatter around you and like how you've been playing, and you know what I mean, like a lot of conversations, like have you been like listening to that? And he's like, what conversations, like, you know, trying to act like tough or something like that. It was like so funny. It's like, and then she's like, exactly, but like that game he had like a good game, so like it kind of like made sense. And then the
Yeah.
next game he does so badly again. I'm just like, dude, like in this series, like
This is the conversation right here. This is the
exactly. I mean, he has
conversation.
like one good game. He's like, what? He's like, what conversations? Like, I'm still here. You know what I mean? And then the next game, he like goes away. I'm just like, it's like when he had 51 in against one Philly versus Boston a few years ago, and he was in the Sixers game 6, and then and then game 7. I think they still maybe they win. I think they win, and then they go to Boston for game 7. He has like 7 points, and I'm just like, what the hell? It's like so bad. But like I don't know. Yeah, it's just, and now he's like lost a step on top of that too. I feel like, which is like making it
Yeah.
worse. But, like I mean, like yeah. Anyway, I don't know. The thing is, like I like to, you know, like whatever, like you know, like I like to like Shannon Harden. I used to love him in Houston. Like love James Harden. Like you know, I used to think the ISO ball, all of that stuff was so much fun. And I know a lot of people like hated it. Like you know what I mean. So like I feel like I might be standing on my own leg with that too. But like I really enjoyed seeing Houston, and like you know like all the step backs and all the ridiculous, like he was like the foul baiting, but like not like the way Shea does it, where you know what I mean, when Shea does it he's literally tricking defenders into fouls. When Harden does it, it's almost like an act of like theater, like you can't stop me, which is almost kind of funny to me. But like he also did overplay it a bit to an extent, but he paired it with like dangerous ISO scoring, which yeah, was it selfish? Sure, but like, did I care? Not really. But like, you know, and then Harden became more selfless with the basketball. Like he became like a facilitator. Um, a pretty damn good one at that one by the time he got to Brooklyn, and like to the point where Kyrie was like, "You're the point guard, I'm the shooting guard," and that's like very much opposite. Kyrie's like a master point guard, and Harden's like very much, you know, like definition of a shooting guard. So for him to flip his whole identity, like I thought that was like pretty interesting. But I don't know, like the Harden I used to love was like the ISO balls scoring, like you know what I mean. Like I feel like that's just like completely vanished, and like and on top of that, he's changed teams like 50 times, and it's just like
That's
the
what I hate
act is
about the NBA. I hate
yeah.
the changing of teams like every
Yeah,
few
the ring
seconds.
chasing, and it's like for him, it's just like not even really working because like, either. So like that's a different. It's not even for him. I don't even think it's ring chasing. I think he's just chasing like contracts and stuff like that. But like, which yeah, I mean, again, like you know, like he's well within his right to
At
do.
this point, you know you're on get that bag.
Yeah, right. Fair point. But anyway, now the Spurs Thunder though, like I mean, we kind of I danced around everything probably we need to about this series. So like in terms of like predictions, like what happens like going forward, I guess is the question.
Yeah. Should we move on to hockey now?
I guess I was just gonna like see if you had any like predictions for like how this might play out, because like I don't know. I think this is still very much a series. I think the Spurs could absolutely win tonight. I think the
I
Thunder
think
do
I
take
think
it
if the Thunder
eventually,
don't
though.
take it in 6, the Spurs can win it in 7, but
We'll see. I don't know. It
tough.
depends on
Tough to
tonight. I
decide.
mean, yeah. I mean, we'll see. It really depends on tonight. If the Thunder go up 3-1 to OKC, like as good as the Spurs are, they're going to be in a hole. I mean, if the Spurs could tie it up and now you go back and forth, then yeah, the Spurs can absolutely win the series in 7. And I know we'd all love to see that, but I don't know. Like you know, a lot has to go right for them. I feel like because again, the Thunder bench is so deep. You know what I mean? That's like the one thing I didn't really factor in, that they were that much deeper than the Spurs even. You know, so like that's a bit of a problem, honestly. Like, which is why I think the Thunder are probably going to be able to pull this one off, most likely. But yeah, we should move on to hockey though, because you know, the more I'm thinking about the Thunder in the finals, like it's like I'm just
The
like, oh
more it
no.
pisses you off.
Yeah, that. But NHL though, like we should talk about that because
Well, you want to
um
talk about something that's pissing me off, you know?
Carolina,
These
no
finals
Vegas,
are these finals are disgusting, okay?
yeah,
These
yeah.
finals are disgusting. First of all, the inevitable is happening. Carolina sound the fell for it again award
Let's
because
go. I think most people actually did fall for it though. Yeah, I mean, I
dude,
almost like kind of half fell for it,
are
like
we
you know,
are we
but, like,
ready to give Carolina the fell for it again award?
yeah. Well, it's only been one game, but they looked horrible. Like they looked, even their own like coach and players, like they were not only did they lose the game, but they looked like pathetic doing it. I mean, they were down like like 4-1
God,
or something,
Frederick
like
Anderson
really early.
had a 76% save percentage. That's
Yeah, which is it's
awful.
not
That's
good at
great
all.
in
That's very
soccer, but that's terrible in hockey.
yeah,
Terrible.
that is very, very bad.
Terrible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's not good. Like, I mean, he allowed 5 shots out past him. I don't know. Like, I was like, this was
21
going on.
shots against, 5 goals.
Yeah, that's not good.
Good
This was
lord.
going on the same time as the Knicks game, so obviously, like most like 90% of my focus and probably the bar's focus was on the Knicks game. But I was seeing like that the Hurricanes absolutely did get dominated by them, and I'm reading like some analysis like post game the next day to try to understand what happened. It seems like like the Habs style of play is like more like kind of more physical, more quick too. It like kind of gave the Hurricanes some trouble or something, and I don't know, they weren't like ready for it. It's like the impression I'm getting from that, like that they kind of. I think part of it was like they might have taken them a little for granted, but not really. But the other part is their style of play is just very different, and
Well,
like
that's the problem with
yeah,
Carolina, and that's the problem with this matchup for them, is that Carolina is kind of known for having a little bit of glass bones and paper skin. So
which is weird because they're also a very physical team. Like they'll like check teams into like what I mean. Like they like absolutely want to assert their dominance on like on like the forecheck, but like when it happens to them and on top, you had like
they
the
can't
speed of
take it. That's the
yeah when it
problem.
happen yeah exactly when
You
they
can
get
dish it,
that.
but you can't take it.
Right, yeah, they do it to other teams, but when other teams do it back to them, and on top of that, I think that the Canes had just have like, like I think they also just had some like enough speed to kind of like get around Carolina a bit, and that's why they were able to get like 6 goals in the game. And Carolina, like they just didn't even like their coach
Well,
was like,
Carolina's a fast team. I wouldn't necessarily
that's
pin this
true,
all on
yeah. I
speed.
think it's the physicality. Like I think that's the biggest difference. I don't know, like what I mean, like that they what I mean, like the way that the Canadians kind of enforce their their well basically on the Canes. But I was a little surprised. I mean, like they look so good for 8 games, and they maybe it's also the long layoff. But I mean, the Canadians were able to put together such a good plan, like for them that they basically like dominated the entire thing. So like yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like momentum versus the rest versus rust thing. But I mean, so you know what I mean. Like the rest can definitely help, but like it can also like make you start the series very slow. The other team's coming off. We just played a whole series and they were just ready for it. I mean, you know what I mean.
But
So
is this just Carolina's fundamental issue? Are they just going to lay down and die, or are they going to, you know, are they going to actually rally? That remains to be seen. But from everything that we have seen in the past, I am not expecting a rally. You know,
yeah, I mean the 11-day layoff was very long. Yeah, I mean even Brindamore was saying like they were, they weren't ready for the pace. I'm not gonna give the 11-day layoff as an excuse, but we weren't ready to play playoff hockey. So I mean like they did get the lead early in, but then after that like yeah. So I don't know. It's like a weird combination of like the pace and the physicality, and I guess like yeah, like they dish it, but it's like they what I mean. Like they try to enforce their their well, but like when they can't, like then like it flips. It's like what we saw like against like the Florida Panthers like last year and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. Like is it just like a do you think part of it might just be like a mental roadblock also like with
it
the
has to be a fundamental issue with Carolina that allows them to take care of the weaker teams in the playoffs, but they fall apart against the tougher teams. I don't know if it's necessarily a mental roadblock, because I feel like eventually you'd be like, okay, well, we've lost a billion times before.
like
Let's
yeah
go out
like
and win this, or
right, like
whatever they're
pressure out,
going to
like
go
what I
with.
mean, like it kind of works in your favor at that point where you're just like, oh, forget it, like what I mean.
Nobody expects it.
Yeah, right. So, but also like the Canadians, I mean, well, yeah, the longest. I mean, this is just the amount of time that they had off was just like insane too. So let's just like not count them out just yet. But at the same time, like I mean, yeah, they gave
It's
you
hard
know
not to, though.
It
It's
is
hard
hard
not
not
to.
to, yeah. They did. I mean, they kept giving up breakdowns, and you know what I mean. Like the Canadians just kept getting like chances basically in in open ice. So they basically yeah, they were the team that was ready, and Carolina wasn't. So now, like, is that going to be is that something that they could bounce back from in the rest of the series? I mean, this is just one game. Like, I don't know, but I mean, if Carolina loses another game, and now we go to Montreal, I mean, where the crowd has been extremely passionate and rowdy. In Canada, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you flip
Yeah.
the home environment from Carolina. Also has a very good home environment. Like, don't get me wrong,
Oh,
but
I
you know what I
love
mean.
the I love
The
the
storm
storm
surge.
siren.
Yeah, the storm surge is so good, honestly. Like but yeah, no, so yeah, we'll see, we'll see. So like, I mean, it's funny that they scored so quickly and then they still fell way behind. I was like cracking up, like watching, like see, like I was texting you. I was just like, they're down 4-1. Like I was like, again, like I mean, like that's funny, but yeah, it could be a rest versus rust. I mean, so we'll see. We'll see though. I mean, if Montreal grabs another game in Carolina, and then they take the series all the way back home in front of their frenzied fans north of the border, I mean, the Carolina could be in deep trouble very quickly. So yeah, we'll see. Tonight's a big night. I'm actually like I don't know. The next game's gonna be on, but like I do kind of, this starts at 7. I do want to like watch it and enjoy it, especially considering Carolina might lose again in the Eastern Conference Finals, which is like one of my favorite things. But like yeah, especially like as a Devils fan, that is nice. But on the flip side, I mean, the Western Conference Finals have also been interesting as well. But this time Vegas grabs a
No,
2-0.
no, no,
Sorry.
no, but no, before we get into this, what is going on here? Okay?
This is
Like,
like surprise. Like
come
it's like
on.
I thought the
Vegas
Avalanche were supposed to
Vegas
be
is
like
the
the
villains
best.
of the NHL. Can somebody
Yeah,
I really don't want to have
it's
to
like the
choose
Thunder.
between a Canadian team and Vegas, okay? Because I want the
Yeah.
Canadians to
Ugh,
keep their streak
it's
of
a
not
gross
having a
matchup
Stanley
too.
Cup, and I want, and I want Vegas to not win. Why are the good guys losing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, for some reason, for me, like I see the Canadians as the good guys in the matchup against Carolina, I guess, and
No,
then
I don't know why, but I feel so bad for Carolina fans. Like
I get
this,
yeah,
you can't even
yeah, that yeah.
like, somebody was like, "Oh my God, Carolina's headed for another heartbreak." But can you really call it a heartbreak if you lose
If you already
every
know,
time, and not even just lose in the Eastern Conference
you
Finals?
get
You just get
humiliated.
blown out. Like it's not even heartbreak. It's just humiliation. You
Yeah,
know?
that's really what it is. Like, it's like, how do you like get back? And I mean, yeah, like part of it is like, yeah, they play like weaker teams, whatever, and then they get matched up. But like, I mean, at some point, like you gotta like be able to figure this out. And this year, like, I don't even think they are the weaker team. Like, they should be the better team against the upstart Canadians team. Like, they really don't have the same excuse. Oh, Florida's better. They're even better. They're even tougher. Yeah, I mean, sure. Like, yeah, I'm happy about that. But like this year, it's different. You know what I mean? It should be different. But like, it's not for some reason. So anyway, I mean, maybe the long layoff, whatever. But if they can't like figure it out this year, or at least at the very least make it a series against this Canadian team, or well, both Canadian and the name Canadians team, but like
Yeah.
it's gonna be same old Hurricanes, and like I already kind of like was like thinking that game one, like the same old Carolina team, but and it's kind of funny though. We'll see what happens though. I mean, on the ice tonight. But in terms of the Vegas series, this one was even more surprising, I thought, because the Avalanche kind of, they come in as like also very dominant in the first, couple of rounds and everything. I mean, they took care of the Wild in five games, and the President's Trophy this year. You know what I mean? They have like Makar and McKinnon, like guys like that, and I think one of them was like in like somebody was, I think Makar was like injured or something, but I mean, Vegas just like, won both of the games in Colorado and relatively easier, like not easier, but like kind of convincing-ish fashion, I would say. And like, as I think everybody was like, with the expectation that the Avalanche were like the better team, they're gonna win. People were even saying like confidently that like they're gonna win, like Avs fans. You know what I mean? Vegas flips it on them right from game one. Their
Oh,
goalie, yeah,
I
been playing
hate it.
very.
I hate it so much. It's
Carter
like,
Hart's been playing very well. Yeah, I
no,
mean, I don't
Carter
know.
Hart does. Come on, Carter Hart does not deserve a Stanley Cup. Like
That's
he's a
fair, yeah.
terrible human being. It's like Ugh, this
Yeah,
is so it's like leaving such a bad taste in my mouth. Like, you're either gonna have to root for the Vegas Knights, or you're gonna have to root for a Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup, which
I know.
I don't wanna do either of that. I wanna keep making fun of Canada for
Yeah,
not having a Stanley Cup, and I want
I do want to
Vegas
kind
to
of make
go
fun
away.
of them for it, but like I don't know. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, like with Florida versus Edmonton, like I was, it's not like I wanted to keep the cup away from. I guess part of me did. I think I just personally liked Florida better than at the Oilers. But like, if there was a team that made sense to win the Stanley Cup from Canada, like I wanted it to be like Edmonton. I definitely obviously wouldn't want it to be like Toronto or Montreal or whatever. But I don't know. Part of me was like, yeah, hockey belongs in the north and the cold, and like like why is the southern teams winning this and that. But honestly, at this
You
point,
know
like
where
who
hockey
cares?
belongs? Hockey belongs on Long Island, that's all I'm saying.
Mhm, yeah, yeah, definitely that. But yeah, I mean, anyway, in this case, we have another battle of hot versus cold, the desert versus the mountains in Vegas and Colorado. But I mean, none of that really matters because like everybody just has top talent from around the world. So geography doesn't really matter
I mean, think
in
about it,
terms
Tampa
in
Bay
terms of
was a
that.
damn good team. Nobody from Tampa Bay plays hockey.
Exactly, right? It doesn't really matter. But it's just in terms of the fan bases, in terms of the climate around, like where you think like hockey would be good and versus where it's not. But yeah, I mean, in this case, now we do have a Canadian team in the Final Four that might even get to the Cup final. And then we also have the Knights. So yeah, I mean, this is like a really bad like objective. Like this is like a really tough. Like that would be a really tough Stanley Cup final for like neutral fans. Like I definitely see like I definitely kind of agree with you like on that standpoint. Like it's just like yeah, you're kind of right in a way like that. The good guys. Even though like you know what I mean are kind of like the ones that are like in the holes right now, but like I mean it's very early on in the series, but I mean Golden Knights going 2-0 back to Vegas, like that's one thing. And then Montreal, I mean, Carolina, Montreal taking one away in their building. That's another one. But I feel like these could still be good series. Like I feel like the Avalanche are absolutely good enough to, bring it back to Colorado. If they can, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Like I feel like Vegas has just played way better. Like I haven't really gotten to watch much, of this, but I feel like they've kind of had the upper hand on them. Like yesterday was an empty netter that pushed it 3-1, but yeah, and then this other game, like we'll figure out is this a one off or is this just Carolina's like inevitability, I guess, of like the Eastern Conference Finals, like what I
Well,
mean,
we'll
just
we'll
in a
find that
different.
out tonight. We're gonna find that out tonight,
I'm very
really.
excited actually because like you know what I mean. I do want to see whether like Carolina has a good answer for this or whether they're just gonna go into a 0-2 hole, leaving their building again, which would be so funny. But like yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all that. Hockey's fun, like especially like in this point in the playoffs, like the intensity is very high, the pressure is high. I mean, it's like the NBA too, but like it's in some ways it's a little bit different, I guess.
He's better than the NBA.
But yeah, I mean, anyway, and in terms of the world of baseball, Garrett Cole came back from his long absence after with surgery and everything. To pitch for the Yankees. So it was nice to see like the social media graphics, like this is a Bronx bound Coltrane and like all that kind of stuff. I was like, got me very excited. He played very well too. Like I mean, he pitched I think like 6 innings. Didn't allow. I forgot if he even allowed runs or he had like very good like yeah. Very good stats. I mean, I think he allowed 2 hits like off of in the 6 innings. So like he played very he pitched very well. But the Yankees they've kind of been struggling like after kind of like they're struggling a strong start and then like slower in the middle. Then they surged and now they're kind of like a little bit on the cool down. But this is like a big series against the AL East leading excuse me the Rays because I mean, they're now 5.5 games back of Tampa, which is quite a bit considering how good they've been. But the Rays have been like every bit as good as the Yankees have been this season. Probably better. I mean, there's I think early season sweep where the Rays got them. But yeah, we're back for another one. But I don't know.
Back
The
for
Yankees are
round
just
two. Let's do it.
yeah, exactly. Because I feel like they played already and like they were like very, very early in the season. And yeah, they got swept. But then the Yankees kind of like came back to life and
They
they won like
did.
a whole
They
bunch.
lost a 3-game series to Tampa Bay. Lost all 3 games.
Yeah, that's right. Like way back in like March or early April. That was like yeah around my birthday time actually. But yeah, the Yankees were kind of struggling a bit, and then they
But they already
started.
lost the first game of this series, so
Yeah, I don't know. They surged, and now they're kind of back to the struggles like again. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's yeah, they lost 2 of 3 to the Orioles. They lost 2 of 3 to the Mets, which that one kind of
uh,
sucks because like the crosstown rival. Then they lose 2 to 3. No, they win 2 of 3 against. No, they split the series against Toronto. They win the first two, and I'm just like I was used to the 3 game set, but yeah, they win 7-6, 5-4. Then they lose 2-1, 2-0. The offense has been quiet again, like that lately. So I
offense
mean
is
that's
too inconsistent.
yeah, like
Way
sometimes
too
it's
inconsistent.
hitting like there was a stretch where they were just like they looked unstoppable, and then now like I mean then they score like
And now they look very stoppable.
yeah they score like what 1 run in like 23 innings or something, and I was just like oh my god like this is that was the third game that was on over at OB was the Yankees game, and like I saw like on the on the stat sheet like 1 run scored in like 23 innings. I'm like that's not good. So then yeah now they lose the first game of this series to Tampa, 4-2. In Cole's, I guess, return to the mound. But yeah, the offense has been quiet, so we'll see what happens. I mean, it's this is kind of like it's like the twists and turns of like baseball, right? Like it, you know what I mean. So it's a long season. Like you have to like buckle up for the ride, I guess. But right now the Yankees are in a little bit of a colder stretch at 4-6 in the last 10. Now 5.5 back in the division, and the problem is the Tampa, the Rays are like a very good team. So you know what I mean. Like that's. Yeah, we'll see what happens, but that the Guardians meanwhile are 9-1 their last 10, so they've kind of broken away from the pack a little bit in the Central, and then the West is doesn't really look that great. The Athletics right now lead it, and then over in the NL, I mean the Braves have a record of 36-16, which is just like insanely good, and the Phillies are somehow like now I mean, the rest of the division's kind of middle of the pack, but I mean, after the starts that the Phillies and Mets have had, like the fact that the Phillies are 25-26 is honestly very impressive. So like yeah, a lot of baseball left too. So Brewers right now lead the Central, 30-18. That's pretty kind of expected, I guess. We've been seeing some deep runs out of them in the postseason. And then, of course, everybody's favorite LA Dodgers are first in the West, but not by that much. They're 31-20. The Padres are right behind them at 30-20, which is pretty much expected too. I feel like the West is always like a race between the Dodgers and the Padres, who just had a series too, and the Dodgers, I think.
Except for the Dodgers almost always win, and the Padres are always right behind.
Yeah, that's pretty much what. Yeah, the Dodgers are always like, yeah, they're like one step ahead of them. Like they usually win. Padres are like the wild card, and that's pretty much how that race goes. They literally did just have a series too, and the Dodgers took 2 out of 3 against them. So, yeah, but anyway, I mean, we'll see what happens. A lot of baseball left to be played. Obviously, we're kind of getting into like the summer stretch now, which is like where baseball kind of really takes center stage. Like this Memorial Day stuff, and then like especially like July 4th, the long summer months of just when baseball is going to be the only sport. That's going to happen like very soon, actually, but not until after the NBA and Stanley Cup Finals are over, of course. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. The Yankees, a very inconsistent team. Like I don't really know what else to say about that. Like I mean, at some points they look really, really hot, and then other times they just look really, really, really cold, and like it's just like a little troubling to me, honestly. Like I mean, like why it's like that, but it's hard to keep on the Jets for like the entire season, I guess. But the pitching rotation, though, that I'm not worried about. I mean, now you have Rodon, you have Cole. I mean, Kim Schlittler is like an absolutely incredible pitcher. I mean, like if you saw the duel against Trey Savage on. I wanted to watch that game, but like it got rain delayed, and like that's why I started watching like a random show and then the NBA finals. But I wanted to watch to see like that matchup in action. But yeah, the with like Schlittler and Rodon and Cole, and I mean even their other pitchers are like pretty good as well. So I mean It's a very, very good like rotation that the Yankees have, but the hitting is very streaky and hot and cold, and that could be, that could be a problem, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is another one of those teams where you just don't know if they have it, and I don't think they do, and I don't know if they will for a little bit, you know?
Yeah, they'll probably get it back again and like have another really, really good stretch where
They're
they
gonna
just
do the
like,
same thing that the Yankees done for the past 10 years, which is, play good enough, make the playoffs, do nothing, leave.
yeah, I mean like that is very true. Yeah, that really sucks. So like I mean that is like
I
that's like
hate to be such a hater, but, like,
a
you
hater
know
on our own team, but like yeah, yeah, I mean that is kind of like the reality of the situation. So
Yeah.
anyway, I mean that's pretty much where we're at with the Yankees and all that good stuff. But I mean, I feel like that's pretty much all we have to talk about. I mean, obviously, Stanley Cup and NBA playoffs kind of in the final swing. But yeah, I mean, enjoy like the Memorial Day weekend. Definitely, and a lot of the sports is going to be going on. And everything, and especially with the weather kind of not being the best, it might just be a good weekend to relax and watch some at home or whatever. But in the meantime, I mean, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, and as always, the vibes are always high on Sports Vibe.